Hello everyone, I am Jayaprakash from Mechatronics department and my topic is concept of artificial intelligence, its impact and emerging trends. Abstract. Whilst there is plenty of new hype around artificial intelligence, as we move into the third decade of the 21st century, the history books would tell you that it has been around for several years. It is best to start with a brief history of before digging deeper into the current principles. Application of machine learning came into existence for the first time during Second World War when a computer scientist named Alan Turing tried to crack a piece of code known as the Enigma code, which was used by the German forces for secure communication. According to Turing, a machine which can communicate with humans without the humans knowing it could he defined as an intelligent machine. What is AI? AI is a field of computer science that studies how machines can imitate the intelligence of their human counterparts. Over the last decade, definitions of the term have become quite loose and refer to just about any computerized or automated function. However, the difference between an AI system and traditional software packages in the ability to make informed judgments and decisions by responding to patterns in data. Many of us use movies as a guide to the current state of artificial intelligence. In November 2019, the latest release in the Terminator movie series sparked some debate on the subject, as did previous films in the series. The reason is that movies tend to offer up all on the basis that it will cause doomsday type scenarios rather than facing up to the reality of what it is genuinely doing in the world. University of Washington law professor Ryan Callow stated one example where the movie talks about a neural net which is a trained model. It would be rather incomprehensible from somebody to be building a trained model that turns itself into a Terminator. The takeaway here is that the AI of today is not yet about machines that can understand human concepts like evil, love, creativity, and strategy. The applications are in fact far narrower right now in that they tend to be brilliant at solving one specific task, and that is about it. AI is usually split into three categories, each being an evolution of the next. Artificial narrow intelligence, ANI, commonly known as machine learning. ANI solutions specialize in one area and one problem at a time. This is the form of it that we see in the market today and complete tasks like recommending a product or predicting the weather forecast. ANI comes very close to replicating and sometimes surpassing how humans carry out tasks and is the only form of AI that truly exists today. Some reports might challenge that, but it is certainly the only monetized form. Artificial General Intelligence (AGI) is the next level up from ANI and refers to AI which has a human level of cognitive function. To be successful, an AGI system would need to connect potentially thousands of ANI systems together to imitate human behavior. To put it into context, the market-leading IBM Watson system took 40 minutes to simulate just 1 second of neuroactivity. Big companies are striving to achieve AGI and we will get there, but just not quite yet. Artificial Superintelligence (ASI). This is the point where we start thinking of science fiction. An ASI system is one that can completely surpass any sort of human intelligence. It can be creative, make rational decisions, build relationships, and decide whether it wanted to be good or evil. It is thought that the progression from AGI to ASI wouldn't necessarily be that huge. If machines can start coming up with their own be the concepts with AGI, a super intelligent system would be next logical step. What is machine learning? Machine learning is the most common form of AI in the world today and how most use cases for ANI are realized. The reason we have been able to develop AI solutions at a rapid rate in the last few years is due to vast volumes of data being generated in the world. Machine learning is the process where computer systems become capable of gaining intelligence through data. Supervised learning. This method takes existing data and trains a model to work out how to classify a new piece of data. For example, it could hold data on the symptoms of diabetes, and when it receives blood test results of a new patient, it is able to, summarized below, make a diagnosis prediction. Unsupervised learning. Unlike supervised learning, these models will attempt to classify data without any prior knowledge. The algorithms look to find patterns themselves and put data into groups. A common example is something like customer purchasing behaviors. The algorithm won't have existing labels and will decide on its own how to classify the data, often known as clustering. Imagine going to a party where everybody is a stranger. Semi-supervised learning. Semi-supervised learning is a mix between supervised and unsupervised learning. In a large volume of data, it is common that some items are labeled, and some are not. A semi-supervised model would have some label data to know that classification does exist. It is then trained on unsupervised data to define the boundaries of what it is looking at and potentially specify new classifications that the human did not specify when labeling.